All right, it's that time again, time for the solo overnight in the woods. And today we're camping in the rain, but most importantly, we're gonna make fire in the rain. So let's get to it. All right, here we are. We're camping in the 4Runner. The camping part in this video is easy. I'll be bone dry all night, sleeping right here. I just showed you the gear list. We'll get into this more later on in the video. But today I want to focus on making fire in the rain. Let's say you didn't have a vehicle. You were out there on a day scout, day hike, and you were trapped out there. What kind of fire starter should I bring with me that will actually work in the rain with wet wood? Now it's been raining here for 3 days straight, and it's going to continue raining for the next 2-3 days. Thunder and lightning storms. So I want to walk around here and try to find tinder as dry as I can get it. I want to find sticks that are hopefully usable, that I can actually break them and actually hear a nice dry break. I want to collect all that up and then try and get a fire going and dry that wood out and then build wood around it. So today we're going to go through step by step how to actually make a fire in raining conditions, and hopefully it's going to continue to rain so you can actually see how bad it can get. On that note, let's go ahead and get started. This skillet right here is going to replace the previous one. That was a 6-inch skillet. This one here is 8 inches across. We have a 6 1/4 base, and we have an 1 3/4 side walls. We also have that classic removable handle. It's the exact same size as the other one, so it's a one handle that fits all. So you can carry both pans with you into the woods, and one handle if you choose to. Best part is, it fits inside the Corporals corner skillet bag, just like the others, along with a 6x12 grill and a full-size spatula. Boom! The skillet bag and the big boy skillet are available right now. There's 100 dropped into my website. That link is in my video description box. Jump on them because they're going to go fast. Let's go ahead and talk about some misconceptions. I've seen this peddled around YouTube and other platforms where people have this, I guess, fascination with, they think that you should be able to make a fire in the pouring rain. And, you know, let's be honest, that's a hell of a skill set. It's dumping rain. Let's talk hypothetical. You're soaking wet in 1 minute. Soaking wet, head to toe. All of your boots, socks, everything, soaking wet. And you're out there trying to make a fire. But here's the reality. What good does that actually serve you? You're laying out in the middle of a field, soaking wet in a mud puddle, trying to make a fire. Let's say you get that fire going. It's going to go out just like that. I don't care if you're using gasoline. It's going to go out eventually, right? So what's the point in making a fire in dumping rain if you have no way to dry yourself out? So that's the point of today's video. We're going to talk reality. Reality is I have an emergency kit with me, and those that watch my videos, I've shown this a dozen times. I showed it 2 weeks ago. I actually showed this harness right here. We built it. We put the gear inside of it. So you know I'm carrying at least one poncho, probably two. First thing is site selection. I want to walk over here and look at the ground. I'm looking for standing water. I'm looking for anything that where water could flow downward. I want to build my fire at the highest point possible, or at least a level surface with no standing water. So let's go over here and check it out. First box has been checked. We waited for a break in the storm. If it was a slight drizzle or sprinkling right now, that'd be okay too. Second, I'm looking for standing water. I don't see any. In fact, this area right here is actually drier or more condensed versus all the mud everywhere else. The reason for that is we're underneath a tree where the leaves are actually shedding that water off, away from this area. Next, I'm looking for any type of area where water can collect. There's a previous fire pit that was dug out right here. There's a lower spot over here. It's higher and level right here. So in my mind, this is a perfect spot to actually put a fire right there on the ground. We're not digging nothing. We're not worried about a rock ring. Even if wind blew flames and coals everywhere, all that is soaking wet. Chances of a fire, slim to none. So right here, in my mind, it's perfect. So far so good, we're looking outstanding. Breaking the storm, perfect site conditions, no standing water, elevated flat spot for our fire, we're in business. Now, just like we talked about earlier, is it smart business to stand out there in dumping rain where you're soaking wet in 30 seconds to a minute trying to get a fire going that you're going to continue being soaked, not drying out? Even if some miracle occurred and that fire just kept going, you dumped napalm or gasoline on it and it's burning and burning and burning, you're never going to dry out because you're constantly getting wet from that rain. And at some point, the coals will become saturated and the fire will go out eventually. So step 3, we want to protect that fire. I want to hang a tarp above my head. I'm 6'1", so at a minimum 6 foot. Being that high up, the heat can go up, bounce off that tarp back onto me, drying me out, protecting that fire, and venting that smoke. As long as your flames are no bigger than a foot or 2, preferably less than that, between a foot and 18 inches, there's no fear of that tarp burning up at all. As long as you maintain it and actually monitor your fire and be responsible, you should be in business. Now, those of you that watch my channel, you're aware that we built that military harness about 3 or 4 weeks ago and actually filled it full of gear and showed an example of what an emergency kit should be. Something for a day kit, day carry, day scout, etc. You also are aware that I carry at a minimum 1 military poncho, preferably 2. And I prefer a poncho every single day of the week and twice on Sunday over just a plain tarp. Why? Because I can wear it if I have to. So I'm going to take one of those ponchos. This is a El Cheapo military style, made in China poncho. And I'm going to cover my fire area. Once again, I want that heat to go up, bounce back down on me, dry me out. I want the smoke to swirl in here and then eventually vent, keeping mosquitoes away because it's still warm. And most importantly, I want to protect that fire. So since I have a vehicle, it's going to be my makeshift tree. I'm going to tie off one end here, one over there, one to a tree, and then we'll stake the other one out over there. Now, common sense. I'm using my vehicle in place of trees. If you're out there hiking and you don't have a vehicle, simply tie off the trees. Locate 2 or 3 trees and tie it off. If you need a 4th tree and you don't have one, you can make one by simply doing a bipod lash on 2 poles. It will open up like a bipod, place it down, run that cordage between the top of it, and stake it out. So there's a bipod lash right there on 2 poles. And we're going to use that as a makeshift tree. Someone's going to say, well, he didn't show us how to tie it. I got 15 years of videos on here. Simply YouTube search Corporals Corner bipod lash. And probably about 4 or 5 videos are going to pop up there. Choose one and get her done. The bipod up to our desired length. And then take our corner with our cordage on it. Run it down between the bipod. The tarp serves absolutely zero purpose except for protecting the fire when I want a fire and something I can stand underneath and dry out. Once I'm dry or close to being dry, I can hop inside here and I'm done for the night. I can detach this, close this door down if I want to, and not worry about it. The fire is going to be for one purpose: dry myself out. Cook if I want to, that's a secondary. I have a propane stove, so I don't care. I also have MREs. I want something to vent that smoke, protect that fire, and trap that heat to dry me out. That's the sole purpose. Other than that, I don't care. So now that we have a place where we can actually have a fire, I want to collect up sticks, and the problem is going to be everything is wet. So it doesn't matter if I'm trying to find dry material. Good luck. You can see everything's nice and shiny. It's wet. It's rained on. It's been wet. So all I'm going to do is collect a bunch of sticks, stick it right over here where I want my fire to be at. Anything from pencil lead, pencil, finger and thumb size sticks. And then at that point, we'll try to get a fire going. So there's an example right there. You got real fine pencil lead material over there on the left. And then you got the finger size sticks over here and pencil size. And then you got thumb size sticks down there. You're going to want probably 20 times that amount. But just to get an idea of what you want, when things are wet like this, I'm not going to throw all that material on there. I'm going to start off and try to get this stuff going over here. And I'm going to slowly add this. And at the end, we're going to have that going inside there. And then wash, rinse, repeat. There's reality and there's fantasy. Fantasy is it's dumping rain. You think you're going to start a fire for whatever reason. And you're going to do it off the landscape. If all the sticks are wet, soaking wet, pencil lead, pencil, finger and thumb size sticks are soaking wet, most likely your tinder is going to be soaking wet. And the tinder is what starts the fire. And then you add your fuel, which are the sticks. If you're soaking wet, the wood soaking wet, and your tinder soaking wet, are you going to sit out there with a Bic lighter in a dumping rain, uncovered, hoping it works out? Most likely not. Okay? So there's a time and a place, in my opinion, to make fire off the landscape. I'm using the sticks off the landscape. However, what did I bring? My emergency kit. And the one thing that's irked me from the very beginning is, in the real world as well as being an instructor, if you're telling people to carry certain items, you want them to be fully trained with those items. Now the argument can be made, well, if I use everything in my kit, I won't have it when I need it. You're right, so why would you leave with a messed up kit? And if you practice with fire starters, you know which ones work for you, you know which ones work better than others, and you know which ones work in snow, wind, rain, etc., etc. So you've had that practice on your own in your backyard, and that experience. Then you go out with your kit, and you utilize the items in your kit. Now, if it's a nice day, and I see sap on a tree, see poplar bark, oh, look at some cattails, and they're bone dry, yes, I'm going to collect that stuff and make my fire with those materials, thus saving my resources. But your resources are there for inclement weather, for the word emergency. And in my opinion, dumping rain, soaking wet, trying to get dried out so you're not becoming hypothermic, that's an emergency. So, in other words, bring the items in your kit so you can use the items in your kit. Now we're talking about emergency kit items, and in this case, emergency fire starters. Now I went to an event a couple weeks back, and I ran into Operation Bushcraft, and he has these Camo fire cubes. Go to his website, operationbushcrafting.com. That link will be in my video description box. These right here are underrated as hell. I had never seen anything like this before. It caught my eye. I watched the demo, and he walked me through the demo, and I was like, oh shit. This is something right here that I'm surprised nobody knows about. I mean, I want to put him on the map. What he's done here, and I can't give too much away, I will say there is absolutely zero petroleum products in this fire starter. A lot of people make those discs and they strike them, they light them on fire, and then they burn up in like 30 seconds, and they have, they're like basically cotton pads with wax on them, and you could smell the resin in them, or like pine sol odor. That's a strong indication of some type of petroleum product. This has absolutely zero petroleum in them. These cubes right here are wax. It's basically candle wax. It actually smells like you walk into a candle shop. It actually smells pretty good. So you pick one of these, and inside of them you have a cotton pad, and it's rolled up. So the trick to this is break it apart, open it, and you can start this with open flame or a ferro rod. Once you light this, it's going to burn. He uses no petroleum products. He uses a different type of oil, and we'll leave it at that. Once this thing is lit, it stays lit. Even submerge it into the water, pull it back out, and relight it. So something like that is worth its weight in gold in an emergency where we're talking about today with dumping rain. So on that note, let's demo this product and you can see it for yourself. So you have your assortment of colors here, your camo pattern, you got your browns, tans, greens, and black. You just pick one. Green's always my favorite color, but we're gonna go with the black one today because we're feeling evil. So for the evil tendencies, here we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and break this apart, and I'm going to just crush it down, roll it back and forth, expose that material. We'll go ahead and open it up, get that nice candle smell to it. See all those loose fibers right there. Look at that. And again, you can use open flame or a ferro rod with this. We got our lighter, we're just going to hit it. Let that thing take off. It was that quick. Now the burn time on this is several minutes, unlike those petroleum pads that you see that are different colors, like an orange color, blue color. I've seen some that are red and they burn up in like 30 seconds. This thing will burn and burn and burn because of that candle wax that's on there. Now check this out. I'm going to grab this and I'm going to douse it out. That's completely wet right now. I'm going to grab a piece of this and we're going to dry it out with our lighter. And there we go. So initially you can use a ferro rod or an actual lighter. Once the thing is soaking wet, highly recommend using a lighter. But look at the burn time. That piece right there and that outer edge is all that's burning. And it's just going to keep going. This thing will burn for probably 5 to 10 minutes. Perfect for something like this when you have wet wood that needs to be dried out. So with that, we're going to go ahead and start with the small pencil lead size sticks first and get them on here. Just going to lay across here and let it dry the wood out and do its thing. You're trying to build a nice base up. Allow that fire to climb, at the same time dry everything out. So the trick is getting that healthy blend of pencil lead, pencil, finger and thumb size sticks. Get that center nice and hot so it continues to burn and climb at the same time. If this was dry, I could just take handfuls and stick it on here with no problem. All that white smoke means moisture. We want to burn all that off first and dry everything out. See that nice healthy climb right there? Fire likes chaos. All these erratic sticks that are tossed on there parallel, then perpendicular, then parallel, then perpendicular. We want that airflow. White smoke, once again, means moisture. We want to burn the moisture off, allowing that fire to burn and climb at the same time. We're not putting sticks on and packing it down. We're not grabbing another one and packing it down. We're not doing that. We want to just lay them on there. The more chaotic, the better. We'll put a couple larger ones in here. And larger sticks can be added just like that. and then just wash, rinse, repeat. And once you have a hot bed of coals, you can add the larger logs on there and dry them out. Just add them on and around and get them all dried out. That way they'll take, and you should be in business. You can actually see right here all the water coming out of these logs. And this is the reality of fire in the rain. Everything's soaking wet after like 3 days. Just babying it, getting that bed of coals, getting everything dried out, and then just start stacking wood around it and just wash, rinse, repeat. By the time this burns down, these should be dried out, put them on top, and just keep doing the exact same thing. The old Corporals Corner logoed hoodies. Check that out. Boom. On my website, get them while you can. Turn this into our makeshift pillow. Just like that. So we have a maple flavored pork patty and hash browns. Yeah, look at that. It's like fried spam. It's exactly what that looks like. Check this out. Mmm. It's better than spam. It's actually pretty good. Oh yeah. Now this looks gross. I've never actually had this MRE before. Hash browns. Ugh. Surprisingly not bad. Not bad at all. Need some Tabasco on that, and we're in business. Yeah. Catch you all in a few. And that's what we're talking about right there. That maple flavored pork patty was actually decent, so I enjoyed that. It's better than fried spam anyway. So, you know, something to think about for like breakfast menus or something like that. Truth be told, on that whole breakfast thing though, I never was in that, you know, or into that in the Marine Corps. It was like pretty much I just grabbed whatever it was and ate it, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You know, it wasn't like, you know, I'm going to separate this thing out and we're going to go fry it up and cook it. It was pretty much you got 10 minutes to go eat, you know. So it is what it is. But, you know, it's food, so it's something like this. I could just travel back into a little cove like this, camp for the night, have fire, collect my thoughts, you know, organize what I want to do, plan everything, and go out and get her done. Be dark in about an hour, so truth be told about this video, before somebody gets the wrong idea, I have no affiliation at all with the Operation Bushcraft guys. I get no kickbacks. I have no affiliate fees or links. I have his link, and that's in my video description box. If you like these fire cubes, these Camo fire cubes, check him out, operationbushcrafting.com. And once again, his link is in my video description box. So the sad part is, he's a mom and pop operation. And what tends to happen is people see these things, or something like this, and they're a slightly larger company. They go ahead and bootleg it, and then put it on the market, claiming they R&D'd it and invented it for 2 years, and they've been using it, and it's their product. When in reality, all they did was steal it. You know, that happens far too often. It's happened to me several times. It's happened to quite a few other individuals, and the same companies just keep doing it over and over and over and over again. You know, so at some point, karma comes for everyone, you know, and those companies will get theirs, you know. That's one thing I'm waiting for with my pans. Those have not been done like that at all. And I'm waiting for someone to pop up and act like they created it, you know, 10 years ago and been doing it ever since, you know, and I'll have to worry about that when the time comes. It is what it is, and business is business, and one good turn always deserves another. So real quick here, we have our casting class that's coming up. I advertised that last week when I showed that video and I made those axe heads. We had 12 spots. I think we have like 4 or 5 left, so I appreciate that. Jump on it now because we're only doing that once a year. We have to wait till it's cool out here because being in that garage with a foundry going, it's going to be probably 120 degrees in there. So jump on it. You're going to go from knowing nothing to be able to go purchase the setup on your own and start recreating items or making your own. But you're going to leave out of there with an actual Ice Age copper axe that's set in a stick with pine pitch glue and wrapped in sinew. So that alone is pretty cool. And that link, once again, is corporalscorner.com, and that link is in my video description box. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to chill here and just hang out for the night and basically put wood on that fire. But I want you to see what you got to actually go through to get a fire going. And it stems back to, like we talked about, going out, finding an actual break in the storm, sit it out, wait it out if you have to. You get that break in the storm, go find your location. Make sure that you're at least at a level area, preferably higher than the surrounding area, high and level, and no standing water. Once you have that, you collect your sticks, pencil, lead pencil, finger and thumb size sticks, and then from there, you go ahead and light your fire. And preferably, if you're carrying an emergency kit, it's an emergency, and you use some type of emergency fire starter that you have experience with. Once you get that going, just baby it like I did, the pencil lead and pencil size sticks, get it going in that center, start adding some more, give it that chaos, parallel, perpendicular, build it up as those flames climb and get above your current fuel source. The fuel's here and the flames are up here. You add more, parallel, perpendicular, get it going, then add your large logs and start drying things out, and just keep doing that. Once you have that nice healthy bed of coals, you're unstoppable. And that's basically what you're trying to build, is a coal bed to dry everything else out. So keep that in mind. Once again, it's never going to be easy, ever. And I find it comical, the ones that, you know, sit on their porch or in their gamer chair talking a big game about what people should be doing, but have no videos or experience even showing anything at all. And at least these people are out here doing it, they're learning, they're killing it, they're getting experience, and I give them credit. Those that talk is cheap. Other than that, I'm gonna chill, relax by my fire, hang out. I gotta get up early as hell and get out of here and go back to work. Get my big boy pans made for this week's drop. I appreciate everyone that's, you know, involved in my business, supporting my business, and furthering my business. More great things to come. With that, all the gear in my videos can be found in one place, my website, corporalscorner.com. Now please do me that favor, hit that like and subscribe button, then ring that notification bell. Once you ring that bell, please select all notifications. As always, thank you for your comments, views, and support. Thanks for watching. Get out in the field, have some fun. I'm going to catch you next time.